E allora a questo punto abbiamo ufficialmente l'apertura della seconda giornata di questi campionati nella splendida località di Schilpario Terme. E allora ecco qua, noi partiamo aprendo ufficialmente con benvenuti a Schilpario, Italia, per i campionati del mondo del 25 under 23 disciplina tecnica classica categoria qualificazione.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome everybody to the morning. Welcome to Government to Qualification FIS Cross-Country Under 23 World Championships. This is for the qualification round for the women category under 23 stage competition in classic.
Good morning, buongiorno Silvia, oggi internazionale di competizione dei campionati del mondo di Schilpario. Ringrazio al nostro Maurizio che si è accolto della bandiera tradizionale della Piccarda possibile una giornata che tenevo molto corretta, anche se arriverà il tempo.
And also, you have captured your future witness overview coming from Freestyle Skiing, that's the iconic method that we have with our technology, but also with our story with life. Minutes ago, told the with the qualification round, the format is exactly the same as yesterday for the junior category. That means that we will have 69 competitors in the women's qualification. We will have 86 in the main qualification. Every 15 seconds we will have to start. All that photo is 1.3 long, and then we will have the conclusion of the qualification round with the last after the start of the section. At 11, 6 minutes and 30 seconds, we will start with the time.
Allora, proprio per la giornata della riassegniamo in pochissimi istanti, si parte con le qualifiche femminili.
Very good morning and welcome back to Schilpario in northern Italy. Day 2 of the World Cross Country Ski Championships. Today the under 23 category men's and women's sprint races coming up in about 5 minutes time with the qualification of the women first. Getting a good look at the course here once again. A lot of work gone into preparing for the races, and if this is unfamiliar to you, then it's a tricky job that the technicians have, particularly preparing for several rounds of heats and qualifiers where the skis need to last and perform well enough in about 5 minutes time, and then still be good enough in the middle of the day when inevitably today the sun will be out again. It's going to be sunny here for about 3 or 4 days at least, right up until maybe we'll get through the first of the mass start races on a Thursday this week. The technicians having a little bit of a challenge thrown at them to prepare. Having said that, the conditions are perfect, so no one is complaining. This is the kick wax section underneath the ski. The bow of the ski, once you have your weight on both skis, lifts your body weight off that section, so the grip wax that you use to kick with doesn't grip the snow, but when you put all your weight onto one ski and push down with a little kick, this classic technique, that sticky wax grips the snow and you're able to then kick backwards and it propels you forward. So apologies for those of you who are clearly well versed in ski waxing for the classic style, but it can be a little bit of a mystery to most people. Good morning to Team USA. Glimpse of Tabby Williams there wearing bib number 41, representing Great Britain today, the only GB team member racing in the under 23 category in the sprints this morning. The men's and women's qualifiers coming up. We've got about 3 minutes to go before the first of the women's qualifiers will get an opportunity to test this course properly. Of course, they've been training on it this morning. Conditions lovely as they were yesterday. The snow is -8. That'll go up to about -4 we expect throughout the day, and that air temperature should hover just around 0 or hopefully just below. The sun will hit all of these tracks by the time we get to the finals later on, but for the racing this morning, conditions should stay stable enough for it to be fair across the board for every one of the athletes. Elin Henriksson of Sweden just finished her warm-up and getting ready to head away, bib number 6. Second of the Swedes to go. There she is. The first will be Marta Rosenberg, and she'll be chased out of the start gate by Marina Kalin of Switzerland. Maria Hartz-Melling in bib number 3. Third last year in Planica. The Norwegian Melling looking to go better than that this time round. Quick look down the running order for qualification. We have 69 females in the under 23 category attempting to qualify for the top 30 places that will go through to the quarterfinals a little later on this morning. Nice overhead shot of the last 30-ish seconds, to be fair, of sprinting as they take this last bend. Positioning as they go into that corner, so critical as we saw yesterday in the junior under 20 category.
2 minutes into the start. Let's get ready for this.
The sun covering all of the track as it stands at the moment, but just as we saw in the junior category yesterday. By the time we're finishing the qualification rounds, it will have crept across into the lovely stadium area and bringing an inevitable smile to everyone's faces here in the prep zone. So we can hear the countdown timer in the background now. What have we got? About 30 seconds to go. First away, Marta Rosenberg of Sweden. Part of the World Cup squad for 5 of the 8 World Cups this year. 11th in the sprint final in Les Rousses 2 or 3 weeks ago, and 7th fastest in the world to qualify in Konya last week. 30 seconds to go, or could be 15. Marta Rosenberg, certainly one of the favourites to come out on top today, but it is a really packed field, and the best athletes all going off in the first, certainly the first 10 are exceptional and will fight it out. Expect most of them to qualify for sure, if not all. Marina Kalin of Switzerland comes from St. Moritz. Junior World Champion 12 months ago in the 20k mass start freestyle. Just 21 years old. 19 World Cup starts to her name. Next is Maria Hartz-Melling, who was junior sprint champion in 2022 and 3rd in this event last year. That was freestyle. It's been in the top 10 in the World Cup. Now, Gina Del Rio, the youngest in the first 10 to get away. Last year's sprint junior champion in the under-20, moves up to under-23 category this year. She's got a lot of work to do against a number of athletes that are considerably older than her, but she has an exciting future ahead of her, that's for sure. Nadine Laurent of Italy, 21 years old, raced in the under-23 category in Planica last year, 7th in the sprint final. Next away, Sweden's Elin Henriksson from Skellefteå. First World Cup starts in Falun last year, so already representing Sweden, as of course Marta Rosenberg does on the World Cup circuit. And we're going to stay with Marta for a little while. This is about halfway round the course. We'll have had a split time by this time in the heats later on, which gives us a way of working out whether it's a fast heat or not. Verena Veit of Germany, 22 years old, from Oberstdorf, 4th last year in this event, 19th in the sprint final in Les Rousses. Sonia Schmidt of Canada, under 23, world champion last year in Planica. Stunning 4th place in the World Cup in Engadin 2 weeks ago, ahead of Lotte Udnesveng and Jess Diggins. Here's Melling, bronze medalist 2 years ago, actually last year in Planica, already made her name in the Norwegian team, hoping for one of those places in Trondheim in just under a month's time now. Number 11 is Helen Hoffmann from Oberhof, part of the World Cup squad for Germany. Maria Kalin just taking that corner quick. These 2 very, very important corners on this course at speed. Iris Di Martin Pinter has competed in Junior World Championships in Planica last year, was bronze in the relay, but also competed there in Planica the year before in the Senior World Championships. He was 22nd in the sprint final. 13 is Stenerson of Norway. Norway, 3 women on the podium in yesterday's junior race. It's going to be difficult for them to repeat that today, but not impossible. As we see Arbrecht round that top bend, starts to head back toward the stadium. Here comes Kalin of Sweden. Marta Rosenberg obviously finished just ahead of her, and that's a big gap, which shows the kind of form that the Swedish youngster Marta Rosenberg has brought to Schilpario. Here's bib number 9, Sonia Schmidt of Canada, last year's champion. In freestyle, in the sprint races in Planica, Sonia Schmidt, big expectations of her today for the Canadian team. 17, Tossavainen of Finland to switch back over the fence. And here's Laurent of France, 9 seconds down on Rosenberg. Martin De Pinter came through the halfway stage, just a second and a half off the pace of Rosenberg, so she can maintain that. She's looking for a very strong qualification today. Henriksson of Sweden comes across nearly 7 seconds down on teammate Marta Rosenberg. Besson of France gets away. Here comes number 10, Julie Perel of France. Comes from the Grand Banan. Evelina Cressel has been competing on the World Cup circuit. Expect good performance from bib number 20 today, Cassell. Let's see, just going, what a disaster for, oh no, bib number 14, Katja Veit of Germany. Not sure what happened there. We might get a replay of that, but that will have cost her a good 5-6 seconds, so that could rule her out of the quarterfinals later on. This is Helen Hoffmann of Germany, just tracking her around the final bends as she comes now into the home straight. She's got about 100 meters to go. She's not going to go into first, and second place currently a good 9 seconds down, so goes into second behind Marta Rosenberg. Martin Pinter should finish any second now. She was going well. Here she comes. Was having a brilliant race at the halfway stage, but hasn't got the endurance that the Swede has, and loses 5 seconds from the halfway point to Martin Pinter. Anniken Sand next of Norway in bib number 25. So currently in the already finished, we've got Rosenberg way ahead, 8 seconds up on De Martin Pinter. Helen Hoffmann, bib number 11, 8:45 in third. Württemberg now, she's got about 8 seconds to cross the line to go ahead of Rosenberg, which is certainly unlikely, but bib number 15, only 30 to qualify of the 69 starters. She's looking pretty good, so goes into 7th place as it stands at the moment. Rosenberg over 8 seconds ahead of anyone else. We're not surprised by that. Here's the American athlete in bib number 28, just getting started. I think that is Katie Oldham, it is. 24, Virginia Cina of Italy. A big crowd out for the qualification rounds this morning. That will change for finals later on once the sun is out. But the qualification rounds very different to the finals. Head-to-head later on. This is every athlete 15 seconds apart. Time trial to just find out who the best 30 are in Italy this year. Here comes Besson of France. She's going to be outside the top 4, I suspect. Is she going to get... No, she's not even going to get inside the top 10. Goes into 15th place. Just behind Marina Kalin of Switzerland. 33 now, Maja Tainanen. Tainanen has started for Finland, so off she goes. We're about halfway through, just about. Here comes Gaillard, Justine Gaillard of France. Again, not going to get anywhere near the time of Marta Rosenberg, so 13.59 down, puts it into 16th place, and with how many do we have in the finish now? We've got 22. Here comes number 25. Sand of Norway. Rounds the bend with about 8 seconds to go, but it's I think it's a good 20 seconds from that corner. No one at this stage looking like they're going to come anywhere near the stunning time of Marta Rosenberg from Sweden, who currently has a chunky 8-second advantage. The Austrian, bib number 32, Engelhardt, halfway around her qualification loop. Tadja of Finland comes in, just takes a little bite out of that 8-second lead that Marta Rosenberg has. In second, 7:49 pushes Di Martin Pinter of Italy down into third. Here's Katie Oldham. It's pretty good. 10 seconds down on Rosenberg, but just 2 outside second place, which, given Rosenberg's dominance today, probably a fairer reflection of the times behind. Step round that top corner, and this is, as we'll see later, one of the few sections on the course where you get to rest. 33 of Finland is Tainen, Maija Tainen, coming through to final bend now. She heads down through the stadium. 2:43 at this stage, has to take this corner, goes wide, which we saw yesterday. The way to do it, give yourself room to maintain the speed, don't cut it too sharp. Wide on the way in and wide on the way out seem to be the way to do it. I think she's going to end up in, well, certainly inside the top 6, I suspect. Times now, no, she's not going to be in the top 6. Top 10 is going to be beyond her too. Wow. Times tumbling away. So what do we have between 10 and 20 is only 2-3 seconds. Rosenberg in first as it stands. Kataja of Finland in second. Di Martin Pinter of Italy is in third. Here comes bib number 36. This is Torvinen, Finland. Came out the gate just 30 seconds ahead of Yasmin Drolet of Canada. And Torvinen finishes in 27th place, I think she did. 17 seconds down. Now, where is Tabby Williams? Started bib number 41. Let's have a look and see if we can get a time for the halfway marker for Tabby of Great Britain. Britain's only racer today in the under 23 category. I'll have a look down my timings and see if I can spot Tabby's result coming through. 6,200 meters, 620 meters, sorry, is 53. Now, Tabby Williams, 15 seconds down at the halfway point. If that's 15 seconds down on Marta Rosenberg, still out there yet to finish. Let's see if we can catch sight of Tabby in a second. Here comes bib number 52. Just looking still to see if we can spot Tabby's bib number coming in. So Tabby, I think, sadly goes into 39th place at the finish. 22 seconds down on, 29 seconds down on today's leader, Marta Rosenberg. So sadly, Tabby's not going to go through and qualify in the sprint races, but as we're probably all aware, Tabby's best results ever coming in the distance races, so she'll be looking forward now to a couple of days to prepare for those, for the mass start races towards the end of the week. Nakajima of Japan, round about the halfway point, comes across the hill at the highest point of this course, around about a minute and a half, a little longer into this race, long enough to have built up a considerable amount of comfortable lactic acid, closing the gap on the Lithuanian athlete that started just 15 seconds ahead of her. It's always a good sign. See how they take this corner. So tentative, it's much quicker than it looks on our screen, but that was pretty confident from the young athlete from Japan. Nakajima now with about 45 seconds, 30 seconds-ish, 30 to 45 of all-out effort to go. She may just get past the Lithuanian who started just in front of her. She'll have to change track to do that. She wants to go wide and takes a minute to see which way traffic ahead. It's going to go, goes ahead, pulls out in front, but we're already at 13, 14, 15, 17 seconds slower than Rosenberg. We're outside the qualification times now as the places tumble away. 24.81 down in 39th place. Yeah, around about 54 starters, 67 have begun, and two more. Actually, I think just one more to get away from Moldova. Now, quick look back at my splits. Have them on the screen there. In sitting in 30th place now, Didier Laurent of France, Rosie Faldham just outside, 36, so, and Emma Strack of the USA also just outside the qualification time this morning. Bib number 60 is Kayla Strakova of Czechia, and this hard to call. Actually, I'm going to resist the temptation of doing that. Tempo is nothing like what we saw from the quickest starters earlier on, and as you can see now, the placings just tumble away. We're into the 30s already, so outside of qualification. A good result nevertheless. 24.39 behind Rosenberg,
58th position for the
bearing in
Slovakian
mind
Michaela Stragova,
no one
Vietnam,
else
60.
got within 7.5 seconds of her today, so
Qualification round, so we
you can take that time off to give you a sense of how well she has done behind the first three starters in the finals coming up later on. So, just a recap then. Top 10, Rosenberg in first, stunning 7:49 ahead of Nora Kataja in bib number 26 from Finland. Iris de Martin Pinter of Italy in third, and Helen Hoffmann, the best of the Germans this morning, bib number 11 in fourth place. See here, back on the course, we didn't catch this earlier on, but that section of the track that requires that slightly awkward running style, the herringbone, as we Brits tend to refer to it. You just get over that little hill, which is a little bit of dead ground. You can't quite see how steep that is, but it just interrupts the flow of your race. This is bib number 69 from Moldova. Not the only Moldovan racing today, but let's see if I can get a little bit more information about bib number 69 for you, just as it gives me a moment to just catch my breath and zip through my start list. Can we find out? Lizaveta is her first name. She's just 17 years old. Ongonga of Kenya, 1:14 down. Slowest time in the juniors yesterday for the women. Actually, it may have been the men. Was almost the same time that it took for the winner to ski, of course, so twice as long, effectively. So, Klosovici, I think that's how you pronounce it. Elizaveta Klosovici, bib number 69. There, the stats showing me that most of her experience, understandably, has been, in a racing sense, has been on roller skis. Has competed a number of times in Greek and around, actually around Europe, roller ski racing this year. This is the fifth of her FIS category races ever. So considerably lacking in experience compared to certainly the top half of this field, who will get so much time on snow. There's confirmation then of the best of the 69 today. Rosenberg way ahead, so already now standout favourite. Gina Del Rio of Andorra stays inside the top 10 despite being a little younger than most, having only just moved up to the under 23 category. Julie Perel, 13 seconds down from France. Marina Kalin of Switzerland in 14th place. Down in 29th, Honda of Japan, 30th place. You can relax now. Clement Didier Laurent of France and Katja Veit of Germany doesn't go through. That's a little bit of a surprise. Bib number 14, just outside. Second slower actually than Didier Laurent, so a decent gap. Anyone else in the top 20 bib numbers who you'd expect to qualify today? Tossavainen of Finland also just outside, bib number 17. Chika Honda, good result from her, bib number 48. I think probably the highest bib number to get through to the quarterfinals. That concludes the women's qualification rounds. I'm going to switch in a second then to the men, which will get started almost straight away. Once again, a very, very hotly contested field for the men in the under 23 category. Just to get my start list up so I can start to talk you through men now just getting set as we have a quick look back. Here's Martin Pinter with a good qualifier. She was in the junior category under 20 this time last year. I am pretty sure of that, and so does well today to qualify a very good time. Third place. Here's second, Nora Kataja of Finland, did number 26. But first, my word, made it look so easy. She's a great sprinter. She's not built like the rest of the Swedish power skiers in the sprinting category, much slighter, and as a result proven herself to be a bit of a surprise sprinting, but there'll be no surprise later if she ends up on the top of the podium. Marta Rosenberg from Sweden. No Norwegians in the top 7 today. Ingrid Byggen Arbrecht of Norway, 10 seconds down on Rosenberg, 2 seconds outside the top 3. And given it was an all-Norway podium in the under 20 category yesterday, little surprise to see only one Norwegian in the top 10. Maria Hartz Melling of Norway down in 12th, Stenison in 15th, and Anniken Sand in 16th for Norway.
So we've got a communication for Team Moldova with Nadia. Please, if you can go to the ambulance that you can find on the bridge. There is one of the outlets there. So please, communication for Team Moldova. Team Moldova with Nadia or someone of Team Moldova. Please, if you can go to the ambulance that you can find on our bridge at the entrance of the stadium, waiting for you there. So repeat for Team Moldova, please, if you can reach our ambulance. Thank you.
a Schilpario, Italia, per i campionati del mondo di sci di fondo Under 23, di scena tra poco le qualifiche al maschile nella sprint in tecnica classica.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back everybody to the FIS Cross Country Under 23 World Ski Championships in Bergamo, Schilpario, Italy. Ready to go in 5 minutes with the qualification round for the sprint competition in classic technique for the Under 23 category men.
86 atleti al via, 34 le nazioni partecipanti, si parte alle 10:45:15, il primo sarà il norvegese Alexander Elde Holborg.
At the where we've got 86 athletes in this qualification round representing 34 nations. We will start at 10:45 and 15 seconds. We will end at 11:06 and 30 seconds with Vargas Paolo from Bolivia. The first one to start is the current world champion in sprint competition, the Norwegian Alexander Elde Holborg.
1 chilometro e 344 metri è la misura del percorso, la salita, il totale del dislivello della salita del percorso è di 41 metri e noi diamo il benvenuto, auguriamo buon lavoro alla giuria di gara.
And we will have the same course as the ladies competition, of course 1.3K, and let's welcome and thank again our jury members.
Il delegato tecnico della FIS.
The FIS technical delegate.
Gregor Mali, l'assistente tecnico delegato della FIS.
The FIS Assistant of the Technical Delegate.
Mia Ojanen, il membro della giuria.
The jury member.
Dmitry Kolomeyev, l'assistente tecnico delegato nazionale.
And the National Assistant of the Technical Delegate.
Michel Reimer, il direttore di gara.
And let's also wish a good job to the chief of competition.
Marco Capelli, e siamo davvero a pochissimi minuti dalla via di questa qualifica maschile Under 23.
Well, just a few minutes to go before we get the men's under 23 qualification rounds underway. Just like the women's field, it's going to be a tough qualification round for anyone outside of the top 30 bib numbers. So many very, very strong athletes going early on. The running order essentially quickest on paper to slowest at the back, and we have 86 starters in the men's field, 69 in the women's field a little early on, and a stunning result from Marta Rosenberg, the out-and-out favourite for gold later on. James Slyman of Great Britain going off in bib number 76. Part of the Highland Nordic team, the only Brit racing in the under 23 sprint category this morning. So we've got about a minute to go before the first of our athletes in this category gets away. Will be a red suit from Norway. A win for Norway yesterday in the under 20 junior category for both the men and the women. And Norway's Alexander Holmbo, who won this event last year in Flernitzer, will start proceedings this morning for the men. Good to see some of the Italian team, the squad out on the course, ready to shout words of encouragement. Always found that a little odd when I first went to Italy to hear them shouting "Die, die, die" as they went past. Here's Holmborg of Norway, won last year in Planitia, 8th in Konya last week, and 8th 3 weeks ago in Larousse. Those were both World Cup, Senior World Cup results. 9th in Ruka at the start of the World Cup season. Oscar Vicker of Norway, still just 21, 5 World Cup starts to his name. And he will know what kind of form he's on compared to Alexander, his teammate. Next to go will be from Germany, Marius Kastner, 5th 3 years ago in the Junior World Championships when he was under 20. 19th in Toblach in a sprint in the Tour de Ski earlier on this year. Nech Stern of Slovenia, just 21 years of old. He's done all the World Cups this year, apart from the Tour de Ski, which probably, if he'd done the Tour de Ski, he'd be exhausted by now. Eero Rantala of Finland goes next from Vuokatti, turned 22 just last week. Had his 5th World Cup start this year. Next is Xavier McKeever from Canada in bib number 6. Part of the Alberta World Cup Academy squad. Silver in Oberwiesenthal back in 2020 when he was just 17 years of old. So here we go. It's 1:10 at the 620 meter marker. And that gives us a sense of how quick this is. Vicker goes ahead of him, so he has Holmboe to pace himself against. That is a 2-second chunky gap. So pretty impressive so far from Vicker. Måns Skoglund of Sweden, from the famous Åsarna club in central Sweden, part of the bronze medal winning team in Planica last year. We see Kastner just cresting the top of that highest point. Next to go for the USA is Mike Earnhardt, so he'll be out on course already. And that is Yuri Tuz of Czechia, 19th quickest to qualify in Engadin just a few weeks ago. Look at this power as he comes around that final bend into the home straight. Now this is Holmboe of Norway. As I say, he's been competing on the World Cup and consistently inside the top 10 in qualifications, so that's going to be hard to beat. 2:40.23, but we saw Vic a little further back. We'll get his finish in just a second. Here he comes. I think he's dropped back a little, so Holmboe pacing this perfectly. Vic will go into 2nd place as there's only 2 finishers so far, but just the sense of how well Holmboe paced that. Vicker going out hard in the first half of this loop. Jørgen Skjoldberg of Norway goes in bib number 14. We should see Marius Kastner finishing any second. Here he comes. Goes into 3rd, 8 seconds down on the Norwegian, and half of that, 4 seconds down on the 2nd best Norwegian, Vicker. Nech Stern has finished and goes into 2nd. He paced it pretty well. Goes ahead of Vicker of Norway. We should see Xavier McKeever and Skoglund just coming in to the finish. Actually, McKeever. Good result from McKeever. He's finished in 2nd place, just 2:67, ahead of Rantalo of Finland. And here comes Skoglund, bib number 7. He goes into 1st, so pushes Holmboe down into 2nd place. A brilliant time. So bib number 7, Måns Skoglund of Sweden. 7th in the team sprint last week in Konya, paired with Johan Hagström. Marius Kastner of Germany pushed down now into 8th. It's Xavier McKeever still in 4th. Just as I say that, Elias Keck of Germany crosses the line. We didn't see it, but I have it on my splits here. He's gone into 3rd, pushing McKeever down into 4th. Now then, here comes Anton Gran of Sweden, and this is a good time, but is he going to go ahead of Skoglund? Well, Anton Gran, only 20 years old, from Mora in central Sweden, but 7th last week in the World Cup in Konya, having qualified 3rd fastest in the World Cup, just ahead of, just behind, I should say, Anger, who is the powerhouse from Sweden. Gran about the same height, not quite the same shoulder power as Edvin Anger, the giant, the 2nd place in the World Cup overall, Anger, but give Anton Grant time. And those shoulders will grow as he develops, the 22-year-old. Here comes Algotsson of Sweden as we zip back for a moment. Jürgen Schoenberg of Norway, 2:38, comes across the line in 4th, pushes McKeever down 1 more place into 5th, 3:53 behind Mount Skoglund, who's sitting in 1st place. Anton Grant down in 11th, mind you, there's only a 6-second gap between 1st and 11th. 26 is first Italian getaway, is it? Might be. Another one going just behind him. Melnitz of Finland crosses the line again. Tiny gap that pushes McKeever down 1 more place. McKeever, though, comfortably qualified, I suspect, 4:55 behind the leader, so unlikely to be pushed out of the top 30. Schwingskakel of Italy has started. Derek DeLung of Canada behind him. And here comes bib number 21, Johansson of Sweden, making his way to the final bend and into the finish line. Takes it wide and then maintains his speed. Skate turn around the corner. We're not going to see him finish unless we zip back to him in a second. Here's Artusi of Italy. How's the time? Still some way to go. Approaching that bend, comes around. There we go, bib number 21, Johansson down into 7th, ahead of Yuri Tuz of Czechia. Some good times from the Swedes, not surprising. Schwingskakel of Italy in bib 22nd. Alder comes across the line. And bib number 23, there he is, down into 8th place. Pushes Tuz down 1 more place. This is the last corner. Who is it that is just finishing? It looked like a German suit to me. This corner yesterday proved decisive, I should say. Artusi of Italy coming through. Not going to go into the top 3, and those places will tumble away. Can he get inside the top 15? Just outside, 7:98 down on Skoglund. And that is the best of the Italians so far, down in 17th place. Great to see the way some of the best skiers take this corner. Most of the body completely relaxed, nevertheless able to use the lower part of the body from the knees down to just take that corner perfectly while relaxing the rest of the body. It's difficult to do. Most athletes are tense, but giving the muscles the opportunity to just free up some of that lactic acid as they come around the final bend. This is bib number 31 of Norway, Kollerud. It's a good time. Up into 5th place. Pushes Finland down into 6th. Just behind Jürgen Schoenberg of Norway, who is currently in 4th. Holmbo of Norway in 2nd. So 3 Norwegians in the top 6 as it stands, and let's see how many we have still got to finish. Look down my start list. So we have 32 who have started. Top 33 have started now, and in many ways all of the highest seeded athletes are away. Next goes number 44, Petrini of Italy, Giacomo Petrini. Manik Silva of Brazil will go next in bib number 45. Fromele of Liechtenstein, that's bib number 35. He crosses the line in 35th place, slowest to finish so far. 41 is Jack Krishna of the USA, looking pretty good as he comes around second to last corner. That was Giacomo Petrini. We got an overhead view of, and just behind him, Manik Silva of Brazil in bib number 45, looking strong. Looks as if he's closed the gap a little bit here on on Petrini of Italy, but hard to tell the way the camera foreshortens the distance. Petrini 10 seconds down. Now where would that put him if he crosses the line still 10 seconds down? Well, he'll be just inside. It's Marius Kastner in 25th place of Germany, 10:05. Christian Steiner in 26th place, and currently sitting in 30th, still inside 11 seconds, is Oscar Algodason of Sweden. So 11 seconds roughly at the finish. A lot of work to do then. Zorzi of Italy chasing Manik Silva, who started off in bib number 45 of Brazil. Still with Zorzi, I think we are. So where was Zorzi at the halfway point? Let me check. And he was in well, he was down in 45th position actually, 8:68 down, so he's got to hold that time, not let more than 2 or 3 seconds drop away into closing stages of his qualification race. This is Petrini of Italy, goes into 44th, 19 seconds down. Quality athlete Petrini. It just shows you the challenge it is to qualify with the field so well represented from the best in the world right now. Here comes Zorzi, number 46, coming into the finish. Lost another 6-7 seconds from the halfway point, so no further racing for Zorzi today outside of the top 30. See whether we have anyone else, the later starters, anywhere near the top 30 at the halfway point. David Pesta of Czechia in bib number 53. Look out for him. He's not far off the pace, so we'll catch up with him in a minute. Bib number 60 gets away. Here's 50 from Finland. 50 Stallberg, I think it is. This is pretty good, into 19th place. So he was 5:39 down at halfway. Loses another couple of seconds to Skoglund by the time he comes into the finish. But that's a good result. Stallberg, who goes into 21st. 19th place, sorry, as it stands. This is a view of the top, the highest point of the course. Just after the timing marker, which we can see now on the left.